Hello, Simon. Day 4 of the fast. So first of all, congratulations if you've made it this far. That's absolutely wonderful. I feel euphoric. I haven't wanted any food today. I haven't even had the cravings for food, and it's a wonderful feeling which I've experienced before. So we're going to address today, it's a bit of a sensitive subject. It's got to be addressed. It's the evacuation of the bowels, and excuse my laughing, but it's something that you're probably not going to be aware of because we haven't introduced any new substance into our system. Basically, early on in the fast, the body remains regularly in terms of its disposable waste that's been generated by the prior days of its input. Before we eat the fast and we were eating and everything like that. So the body's just saved it up. Now, a variety of circumstances occur, causing the digestive system to react in a way that is unfamiliar to anybody who's never done a fast before, and I'm assuming most people this is their first time. The most obvious and logical explanation: the body simply ceases the production of waste. There has nothing been introduced that could continue, can contribute to such. And it was my expectation when I first endeavoured on my first endeavour on a fast was that this would continue indefinitely for the entirety of my fast, but that's not the truth. Elementally, it's close to the truth, but it's not actually the truth. You have to familiarise with the conditions that may slightly alarm you. When the body begins to adjust, and your body will start adjusting to the fast, the digestive process, along with the psychological systems, will begin to accommodate its performance with the new conditions that it's placed under. Therefore, the process of identifying a means of sustenance will necessarily take a few days to be established. But once the body concedes to an outside nutritional input, it will begin to glean its resources from within. In other words, it will start to eat up what it's got, the fat resources. It's the fat stores of the body that are deemed most expendable. People don't think that. They think it's the muscle that you get out of first. No, that's not true. The truth is it's the fat stores or the fat sources that you've built up and saving. All that fat we have in our body. If you're skinny, you wouldn't be doing this. Or I hope you're not doing it. There's no reason to. That have been absorbed, utilised and reduced. So when this begins, there's initial excretion in such, and excuse my way, but we have to talk about this, in such a way of solid waste. But do not fear when the waste is not absolutely solid. Remember, it's a source of almost exclusively fat and will expel as such. It might occur down the road, but it'll be very briefly. You have come to the point, basically, which is what I'm doing. And when I say you, I'm talking about myself because I'm already in this process. You've come to the point where, you don't need to go to the bathroom except for, because you're drinking so much water, to utilise anything, so you can throw your magazines and your papers away. So that's that taken care of. So apart from that particular issue, day 4 is, to me, an extraordinary one. I cannot overstate the feelings of euphoria I have. The body has begun to feel so very free and weightless. I've dropped the shirt size, or I feel lighter in my shirt already. And the day begins, it's almost surreal, I suppose, how happy and stress-free I am. And people, contrary to that, would say, no, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be stressed, you want to see a doctor, you're going to start getting angry. That isn't the case. That isn't my case. You will find, your daily attendance is easier to address. It's just because, you're psychologically content and during the process of this fast. And this coupled with the constant knowledge that I'm experiencing a potential extreme weight loss has been for me the reason why I continue to fast. And I make a regular practice of this, for quite a few years of my life. In fact, I do this twice a year. I'm not going to go into the amount of days I do. That's, because everybody is different what they do. But the overwhelming feeling of wellness, wholeness and health to me, it cannot be identically duplicated by any other practice or discipline. It is my belief that you should experience this same anomaly and be grateful for the ease of its practice and one which you will revisit regularly. Well, I hope you do anyway, if you have the results you do. And the results can be extraordinary. They have to be experienced to be believed or understood. As we've spoken before the past few days, be careful who you tell. Be careful who you tell. And there's a sort of language I've adopted over the years that's specific to this practice, and it goes further in communicating my own feelings than more than a departure from those felt in regards to anything else. One such idiom I use regularly, especially when journaling, is non-eater. I use it now to express the overall acceptance of the routine and perception of the fourth day. I'm a non-eater. The best way to communicate my thoughts, especially this day and many days forthcoming, is that I've become a non-eater. So remember that. And what I mean by that is that food and hunger have become non-existent in the occupation of my mind. The word hunger. I'm not hungry. I'm void of hunger. It's a wonderful feeling. You know, there's not been a single thought given to the temptation of food items of any kind since yesterday. And even, you know, when I'm, say, confronted with various aromas or visuals that normally would commonly cause me to salivate, desire, and the very worst, you know, I just find not alluring at all. At the very worst, the function of eating may be missed, and this only minutely. I miss it minutely, which is how most people will be if you've made it to day 4. What else? By function, I prefer the act of chewing. That's what function is: tasting, swallowing. This is more out of habit and routine, that is by motivation, by my hunger and desire. It's just a routine I've been into all my life, you know. Hunger, eating, chewing, salivating. So, but it means that's, you know, that's what it's like to be a non-eater. So I'd like you to congratulate yourself. You must have weighed yourself by now, depending upon your weight. You know, could have seen a dramatic loss by day 4. You may have lost 3 or 4 kilos, 6 or 7 pounds, which is wonderful. Tap yourself, you know, pat yourself on the back. It's been incredible. To keep it in perspective, calculate your total loss to date. That's the best way to look at it. And imagine how long you would have had to have dieted to achieve the same. You know, with this in mind, you know, you are exceptionally. Recall the strength and the decision and the resolve you had, you know, the day before day 1 when I wrote the foreword, and sleep as well as only the weightlessness can. You know, I'll meet you on the morning scale, as I always say, and maybe we will share a bottled water. The website is www.defineme.com. That's DFINEME.com. And you will find my diary written on there. I put the videos on there with my diary I've written. So, you know, we're up to day 4. Follow it religiously. If you stop, you want to start again. If you want to ask me any questions, just send me emails. But defineme.com. We're trying to define ourselves. We're making ourselves a better person. I want to look better in my clothes. You know, I already feel less weight in my face, and I've got more energy. And it's hard to express and explain to anybody, but you can experience it yourself, and you don't need to express it to anybody. They'll be seen. All of a sudden, I can guarantee this, after day 6 or 7, they're going to notice something's different in you. Your shirt will be hanging differently, or your blouse will be hanging differently, your pants will be falling off. And that's when they're going to start asking questions. What have you done? How have you done that? And then when you explain it to them, again, we go back to well, that's not good for you. You're going to die, you know, that kind of stuff. But you can't argue with the facts. You can't argue with how you look. You can't argue against that. You just look at them and say, hey, do I look better? I feel better? Do I sound better? I'm positive. I've got lots of energy. There's your answer. Anyway, defineme.com. Simon, hope this helps. See you in the morning.